Good morning. 8:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, September 30th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So as we can see, XRP failed to hold the 63.95 level. We didn't really expect, or 63.8 cent level yesterday. The anticipation was, if you were in the live last night, that we were going to come down and not hold the 639 based on what we were seeing with the setup, and it would have to come down to the 60. And I put everything out here. We circled it, 62.05 cents. The only question is does it hold this? That's a very big pull down so far. 62.05 would be this pattern breakout back test that technically, if you were to hold this and it played true, you could find yourself to a level of 96, or what is that, 96.3 cents. The problem is we have the escrow dump tomorrow. So at 12 a.m. in about 16 hours, we're going to have the start of the escrow dump of 1 billion XRP that find their way into the market. Generally, about 80% of that will be locked back up via the escrow mechanism until December of 2027. So ask yourself, what is going to happen on December 2027, where all these locked tokens from escrow end up? So that's going to be pretty interesting. But right now, the main thing is can we hold the 62.05 cents? Can we trigger a massive rally, or is this going to be the start of the end here already? That's a big question we're going to have to ask ourselves this morning. We had a phenomenal run this weekend. On Friday, we front ran the move, and we talked about how we had a explosive weekend to look forward to. I targeted the first move at 62.5, and then ultimately it did run up a little bit higher than 63.9, but we talked about how it would be unlikely to come all the way up to 62.5 and not come and take out, and let's go to this, not come out and take out this resistance here, which was the rising channel resistance. We took that out. We took out the cup and handle. So now it's, do we hold 62.5, or do we come all the way back down to 59 or 60 cent area and back test this cup and handle as support? I don't want to come all the way back down there. I think if you're doing this appropriately and we have any kind of momentum this morning, we should be able to hold this consolidation at 62 cents. If that busts, then I think we got bigger problems than just, hey, it came back below 62 cents, because we'll have to come all the way back down to 60 cents and see if that will hold. And then if something like that wouldn't hold, then you're talking about coming all the way possibly back to the 2018 resistance at 52 cents, which I don't want it to come back down there, but we obviously have to pay attention to that being a possibility. So we've got the escrow dump looming. So with that being said, we're going to have some volatility here in the next day or two. If it comes back down, it doesn't need to. I don't think it wants to come back down there now. If it comes back down to 52.24, that's a bearish bias if I've ever seen it. Even though we're on the top side of the 2018 resistance, we've seen that we did not hold this. So the OR would be to come down to 62.5 cents. It's that simple. I did about a silent 60 seconds on my way out after I rehashed this point over and over and over about the 639 if it was lost. And right before I walked out, I did it silently in the second live yesterday, and we ended up talking about the exact point where if it's going to hold, it can bounce off of here, but it's going to have to back test this now because we came through the 639. So 62 cents is what you should be watching for. If 62 cents gives way, that's where it becomes an issue. On this particular chart, when 62 cents gives way, 53.3 cents is underneath. Now, you do have a little bit of stopgap measures in between, but not much, because as you can see, there's the 52.26, and that's the 2018 resistance as support. We've got that 59.96 that could stop us if we lose 62.5, but if we lose 59.96, I mean, this was a failure at a grand level. So then we could expect it to come down in a pretty quick fashion. So we have to pay attention to the possible volatility, the volatility that's coming today, that's already started. With the escrow dump at midnight, we're just after midnight tonight. Tomorrow's the 1st, so we get that 1 billion release from escrow. It's been happening since like 2014, 15, and they get locked away after they release 1 billion. If they release a billion and 800 million get locked back away, they get pushed out into Neverland. And that's in December of 2027. So we don't know what's going to happen on December of 27. Do they all reach the market at once? Do they end up locking them up again into oblivion? Do they burn any of them? Who knows? So that's the speculation and conjecture we'll have to deal with going into 27. 63,792 for Bitcoin, down $1,809 or 2.76% to the downside. We broke through that 64,499, which is bearish. That's a bearish breakthrough. We never came all the way up to 68,658. So if Bitcoin continues this rotation down, it could be ugly. 4 hourly broke into a bearish bias. Daily time frame broke back to a bearish bias. We do have a golden cross. So this could be a back test here of a golden cross. So first area is 62,500 area. And then if it comes all the way back through, there's 59,756 is the daily 200. So it could be a quick sweep here. So we'll see exactly how the market pans out here on this Monday morning. Futures markets are back online. We've got the U.S. waking up 6:30 a.m., 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. So it gets a little interesting. Right now it's 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's about 5 a.m. on the West Coast. So we're going to start to get some volatility. As we talked about for the last several weeks about the precious metals, I had been in B2 Gold at $2.62. All of you who are watching know where I sold it at $3.38. And I said if it bites me in the ass, it bites me in the ass. It went up to $3.42. So I didn't even sell the top. I sold at $3.38. It went up to $3.42. My technical target to buy back was $3.15. I said on Friday I was not buying at $3.20 because I thought it was coming down farther. I said if I come to eat it, I eat it. But $3.15 was the technical buyback. Right now on the morning, it's at $3.17. So we were able to ride it up. If you're following exactly like I do, and yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. I've done this how many times now? So from 262 up to 338, we made 30%. And then being able to sell it at 338 and having the foresight, this is how I've been building my precious metal portfolio through commodities, or my commodities portfolio. And right now it's down about 6.3%. So now I can buy 6.3% more without having to add any money. And the fact that I had 3,000 plus shares, my account value would be down about $1,000 right now in just about a week, not even. So if you wonder what I do more than just precious metals. We built up our commodities fund from 3,500 4 months ago, and it's over 13,000, and we didn't lose a single dime on this drop. Just like the last 2 drops, we didn't lose a single dime because we were ahead of it. And like I said, this will be probably the last time that I can buy and sell like this. The fact that if B2 Gold were to hold this consolidation after a massive descending breakout at 315 would be key. Now, is it going to hold it or does it fall back in? That's what I don't know. But I've been speculating that I'm buying it there because that's where I think will be the best buy for value. As you can see, it broke way back down, though. So we'll see how it reacts. But at 315, don't be surprised if you see me later today if I feel like the integrity is going to hold, that I find myself back into that position. And as we know on First Majestic, we were all the way up at $6.70-something when we sold, or $6.60. It was a pretty not $6.60, $6.53. I thought it was, no, $6.58 is what it was. No, $6.53. It has to be because there's no way I sold that tip. $6.53. I was thinking $6.63%. That might have been the other side. Anyhow, so now this is back to $6.14. So that's a 6% dump since we sold it there. Oh yeah, it was. It did. It got up there. It just ended up reversing in pre-market, so we never got to see the actual event. So it actually did get up that high, ironically. Anyhow, so that's what we're looking at this morning. We got the precious metals markets correcting. We've got gold and silver correcting. We've got crypto. I thought it was the most obvious correction we could have had. So I did a short on Saturday talking about how we just had this big rally and now it becomes dangerous for buyers because we were on that last leg. Once you get to the last leg, everybody who's buying that instead of before the pump, they end up getting in danger zone. So we had a bunch of people that didn't want to buy at 58.5 cents Friday when I put the alert out, but ended up buying at 64, 65 cents, and look what happened. So if they didn't heed the warning of once this tops out, it's going to have a little correction here, and it could be a big one. We don't know. But just pay attention. I got to release this. Got to get my son to school. Got to leave here in 9 minutes. So I'm going to release this. Pay attention to XRP, what I was saying. If it doesn't hold 62 cents, it's a major problem. XRP must hold today 62 cents. Otherwise, this is a major problem because that could be a topping reversal right now. That looks like an M topping reversal. And if 62 cents gives way, this will come right back down to where it started. Remember how Ripple moved in excess of like 600 million tokens? We had Chris Larson move like 80 to 90 million tokens in totality. We had whales shuffling 400 to 500 million. I think we see the reasoning for that. They were expecting the pump, and now they've capitalized on this dump. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this update. And if you're looking to trade crypto, look in the video description below and our pinned comments. There's BITUNIX and HOTCOIN. You don't need a VPN or KYC. Very low spot fees. Leverage fees you get cheaper on BITUNIX. And there's no KYC or VPN worldwide. Have a blessed morning, everybody. We'll talk soon.